Yeah, so this is Fraser's desk. This is where we shoot Beard Bros. Hey! This is where we shoot Beard Bros every single week when we can. Usually I sit in this chair, Alex is over here, and Fraser is here kind of taking notes as we record. This is like a new thing for us because we never had interns to this degree before. I think we have 2 interns right now. Need anything? We got Monster and Red Bull, or soda, I don't know if you like any of that stuff. Tea, orange juice. Hey everyone, and welcome back for a very special episode of The Completionist. Now, before when you're the youngest of 5 in an Arab family, it's hard to kind of get everyone's attention, and most kids are concerned about their parents coming to their soccer games or football games and stuff, and I never really had that concern. I never really cared because I spent a lot of time by myself, and so a lot of my intermittent relationship with my parents was through games. They bought me games, they let me play games, they gave me my time to play games, and they were very restrictive about my game time, and so that's kind of where the divide happened. But for the most part, I played a lot of games all the time, and it wasn't until I got to high school where I stopped. My big focus was theater. I loved acting, I loved performing, I loved studying plays and Shakespeare, and I loved doing that because it kind of removed me away from not just my family problems, but it kind of made me feel like I mattered. And that was a big thing for me because my mom got sick when I was very young. She got Alzheimer's, essentially. It's called frontotemporal dementia, and it basically, Alzheimer's works from the back of the brain going forward. This is the exact opposite, where she forgot people and how to speak and certain things real quick. And so she got sick when I was 10. So from 10 to 18, as I was growing up, she was kind of reverting down. And so a lot of my time in high school was kind of spent dodging that problem because it was never really something that I could deal with as a high schooler. So when I was in college, I went to Cal State Fullerton, and Cal State Fullerton was kind of like a really big school everyone went to in the Orange County area, and I hated it. I hated going to school there. I had no friends. I was by myself for a few years, and I found a lot of solace in coming back home and spending time with my friends. I started growing a really good, close relationship with people like Michael Barrity, aka Bladed Media on YouTube, Zan Alda, aka ZanMan72 on YouTube, my buddy Alan Barstow, John Jafari, aka Jontron. We didn't really have anything to do on the weekends, and so we'd get together and we come up with the most stupidest jokes you can imagine, and we just never really ever had an idea. We just were like, let's make this dumb short thing with our mom's JVC camera. Let's just see what happened and go from there. Michael Barrity and I, we quickly became best of friends, and we looked at the space. And ironically enough, I might get in trouble for saying this, but we looked at Jake and Amir on College Humor, and Mikey Barrity and I, we kind of said, like, what are they? Why? I didn't get it. I didn't understand why these two men were becoming so popular, and why can't we do that? And so out of that, my first web project ever was Ari and Stone.
One can land right here, and then we can watch all of the movies with Harrison Ford.
And it was me and Michael Barrity, and we played these ragtag roommates that didn't belong working together or living together, but they did. And their kind of essence was every episode was a conflict about the internet. This show was so ambitious and so stupid, and it was so fun to work on, and we wanted to make sure that when we produced it that we had plenty of seasons to kind of show. So we actually shot 2.5 seasons worth, and we were ready to show it to the world. And then poor Michael Barrity's laptop got stolen at his school, and we lost all 2.5 seasons. Michael at that point said, you know what, I want to try doing my own thing, and I respected him, and I said, okay, I'll try and do my own thing. And so that's when I thought of doing, I wanted to make thatonevideo.com. It was going to be a website that was just about viral videos, just showing you what's viral today, what's viral now, and what's viral in the future. And so I tried, my next big project was a show called Now You're a Man, the Cooking Show. And it was about a man who played games, who loved cooking, and would instruct you on how to cook like a man by making some of the most disgusting things ever. Now this, to give you a mindset, was 2010, and a month before we launched, Epic Mealtime came out, and was almost the exact same show.
These are my online gaming friends. We took a break out of destroying noobs on Black Ops to destroy your arteries on YouTube.
We got hit with a lot of copyright strikes early on, and so I was forced to take almost all the videos down. And so at that point, in between all of my time in YouTube, I had been producing so much in college. I just graduated college. This was 2010, 2011. I said, I'm going to do one more show. I'm going to do one more show. And if this doesn't work, I quit. I move on to getting a real job in the film industry. I was working full-time at Best Buy. I was caretaking my mom, and my dad was there too. And so I had all this stuff kind of in my hands, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. So that's when I met with JonTron, and he was pivotal in kind of shaping what I wanted to do. 'Cause I didn't want to do a review show at first. I wanted to do a fun show that was man versus game. That was kind of was the intent. The show started out as such. I pick a game. I film every single thing I can in the game. I have terabytes and terabytes of hard drives filled with every shot. I used to sell my footage to networks for B-roll because they could show a promo or something. So first step is I complete the game 100%. I record everything 100% across the web. The next thing is I write the review, and then I'm editing. I'm editing 3 or 4 days a week, and then Friday comes out. Friday I pick a new game, and that's what it was. Friday I pick the game. Friday, Saturday, Sunday I'm recording the game. Monday, Tuesday I'm writing and recording the voiceovers. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I'm editing. Friday morning I'm still editing, finalizing stuff. It goes up Friday morning, and I'd pick the next game.
Welcome to a brand new episode of The Completionist. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Complete. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Completionist. You know,
when I started doing YouTube, I learned. At first, this is the thing. I always laugh at this because I was so naive. I was always passionate about what game was next. I was always like, someone would ask me, what are you playing next? And I go, oh, I'm playing this game. It's so much fun, and this is what I'm going to talk about. It's going to be great. I had this joke, and it's going to be good. And then it comes out, and I'm like, great, it's done. Now, where's the next game at? I'm going to grab that game and keep going. And that was my mentality for the longest time. And I kept churning and churning and churning and working hard and burning the midnight oil. And my first episode went semi-viral. And so when the second one came out, I had to really tell myself, no one's going to watch. You cannot assume anyone's going to watch. And sure enough, when the second episode came out, no one watched. And I felt good knowing I set my own bar. And I had to take that mentality into consideration of, I can shoot for the stars, but I have to be realistic, and I have to be open-minded and level-headed about it.
you like mailbag, but
Hey, Alex is probably just nipple.
why is there so much mail?
I could probably tell you. It's been like a year since we've done a mailbag video.
I thought that by painting myself as the Iron Gamer of man versus game, of 1 week, 1 game, 1 video, that I would be able to kind of grow into a more successful channel, and that by going that route I could grow the business and grow myself a lot more. But I learned so quickly, every year I look at how much I've grown with my analytics and my stats, and while it's always doubled, quadrupled, and anything, it's always disappointingly not as much as I had hoped, because there are a lot of struggles behind the scenes, emotionally, mentally, financially.
Not so fast, Gregory Robert Wilmot. Let's be clear on this, all right? The last time we played a game from this franchise, the last time that we even thought about that word in a gaming atmosphere, apocalypse happened. Players! 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 This is one of the hardest videos I've ever had to make in the history, I think, of my whole life. It's hard for me to announce that Greg Wilmot will no longer be a part of the Completionist or anything that one video gamer related, Super Scope, Beard Bros, etc. A lot of you guys have a lot of questions, a lot of concerns.
I can talk about what, like, I don't want to talk about specifics of what happened between Greg and I, because I've never once, the big thing about Greg and I is that I've always been quiet about it, because anytime I say a word, I'm always the enemy. And so I've learned that if I just say nothing, I can't empower anyone. I've definitely been in the center of a few controversies that I never asked for, that I never had any intention of being a part of. But I definitely became the villain quite a few times. And it's always been hard to stand up for what you believe in. One thing that I try from a social standpoint is on Twitter, you'll always see me talking about positivity and appreciation for games and for this industry, and, you know, standing up for what you believe in and not being bullied. These are all things that I have been through, that I want no one to have to go through. And even having someone go, hey, you know, I'm there for you and I've got your back, that's key. And that's something that the space doesn't have. There's not enough of a person to stand up for what you believe in. And that's always been a thing for me that I try to be, because I don't get to fight everywhere I want to fight. I don't get to say everything I want to say. And the best option sometimes is silence and just being positive and moving forward. I've seen a lot of YouTubers hate me behind closed doors. I've seen a lot of YouTubers hate me in front of the public. I've seen YouTubers that were once friends throw me under big buses. And I've seen YouTubers that secretly hate me, have something bad to say to me, but they still ask for my help. And against my better judgment, I help them.
Oh, wow, it's so bright out here on this beach. Oh, my God.
Alex Faciani and I, we always say, in terms of YouTube, in terms of conflict in general, we always want to stay light side. We always want to stay on the side that's tried and true, and that's true to us, more importantly. And it's not even within the gaming community. It's a YouTube-wide thing. Your subscribers, your views, your audience dictates how people treat you. I would say in this YouTube space, I've made a lot of friends. And I'd say my closest friends are down to 10 to 15 people. And those 10 to 15 people know me for who I am and what I do. And that's what they continually associate with me. And it's an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to be on their side in this field of battle of YouTube, because there's just so much. There's so much bad. There's so much constant prying and drama and TMZ bullshit. It really is professional high school. It's he said, she said. It's how do I grow? How do I be the best? You know, you used to help me, now you don't help me. It's a constant battle. And I think nowadays the YouTube drama has died down. I think now we're starting to get to a point where it's now becoming YouTubers versus YouTube, which is a very important battle that is always ongoing. But there's still always snarkiness behind closed doors. There's always still, screw that guy. That guy's a dick. Or she's not cool. She's not very good. Her videos suck. And it's always a struggle to kind of appease everyone. And that's one thing I've learned, is that you can't make everyone happy. And I'm not even talking about audiences. I just mean your friends. You can't please everyone. And once I learned that, things started getting a lot easier for me. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Completionist. And today we have an awesome special guest here. He's one of my best friends in the YouTube space as well as in real life. I love this guy so much. He makes literally some of the best content on the planet. Everyone, please welcome back to the show, Matthew Patrick from Game Theory.
Oh, you're talking about me!
Who else do you think I'm talking about?
I thought someone was gonna walk through the door.
Let's talk about actually your job of completing a game and reporting on it in a week. challenges? Like, what's that like? Do you regret choosing that product of entertainment?
There's a lot I regret. Happy Black Friday, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode. I always joke that if I stop making I guarantee that if I stopped making The Completionist and I went to doing it once every few months, I would probably get more views, but people would still, I couldn't make it viable because YouTube has trained my channel specifically to always do one a week, because if I miss one a week, the channel falls apart. And more importantly, because I've built a business, because I've built a model, and I have employees and staff and insurance and overhead and payroll taxes and expenses and trips, if I miss one video of The Completionist or a top 10 or something for that slot on a Friday, someone has to get fired or I have to take a pay cut. And that intent, if I don't have a motivation to succeed at this point, then that's definitely a reminder that I can't give up, because that means that if I give up, if I stop, that's someone's job. That's someone's livelihood that I have to worry about. No one really knows that. No one really knows. And if they do, they downplay it, because it's like, well, you play video games for a living, so obviously it's not hard. And I go, well, then you do what I do. I would love to see a random stranger live the lifestyle I've lived for the past 5.5 years and not go crazy. And then once the product's out in the ether, fans, what do they think? What are they saying? You suck. You're the worst. You're fat. You're not funny. You're ugly. That stuff doesn't actually bother me. That stuff I laugh at, because that's all surface stuff that you just say to someone on the internet, I guess. But it was always the fans that were like, I used to like this. Those are the ones that hurt. The ones that are like, you used to be good. I don't know what happened. Oh well. Better luck next time. And those are the ones that always hurt more. So a long time ago, when I signed with Maker Studios, I wanted to start a band. I wanted to start not necessarily like a music band, but a cover band, like doing one specific type of band or different kinds of things, using fun video game references and such. And what if I told you that boy band is being backed and produced by the musician behind Shovel Knight? What if I told you this was a real thing that was happening?
I'm the boss of a whole nother castle. Ain't no princess inside. Ain't nobody gonna come and find me. I got mad reptilian pride. If you want to step in my
plan to move forward has been really hard, because now more than ever, the YouTube algorithm scares me. I'm nervous because I have ideas that are ambitious. They're not as big as starting a production company as big as I wanted to back when I was in college, but they're definitely there. And I know what I want to do. I don't have the finances. I don't have the support. I don't have the team to make that happen. It terrifies me that I'm going to be a 45-year-old man completing a game a week. Granted, that's going to be at least 17 years from now. That's still, that thought scares me, because I want to have built something that's going to be a legacy. I want to build something that will always remind people of The Completionist, but won't necessarily be that. And I have a lot of projects in the works, and I wish I could tell you all of them on camera, but all the reason why I can't say them, is because there's so many people out there that might take it and run with it. Hi everyone, my name is Jirard Khalil. I'm The Completionist. I run
How do you keep your head screwed on?
How do I keep my head screwed on? On the visual front, it's always screwed on. I think the show and social media and Facebook and Tumblr and Vine and every social aspect you can think of, my head is screwed on for the fans. Behind closed doors, there's a lot of struggles that go on that no one really knows about. Not because I don't want to share it, but because I don't think people want to hear it. I think people want to enjoy the content they get. If you watch House of Cards, if you heard that Kevin Spacey was really sick during the first season and it almost killed him and he sacrificed everything, I don't think you'd want to watch House of Cards or you'd think of it in the same light anymore. And that's something that I've learned is that I want to give everyone everything of me. I want them to know what I think and feel, and my content reflects that deeply. I feel like I wear myself on my chest and my sleeve. I think everyone knows who I am, and I don't hide anything. At least I try not to. And from that perspective alone, I have a great staff that remind me that I'm doing the right thing and that they believe in me. And I have friends like the Grumps that are constantly telling me, keep going, don't give up, you're doing just fine. And even people like Matt Pat, who always are like, if you fall, I will pick you up and take you to the finish line. And knowing that I've got these great group of friends there for me always challenges me to be a better person. It always challenges me to go, you have my back? No, I've got your back. And that's kind of always been my mentality, is as long as I'm surrounded with wonderful people, I can't fail. And that's been so important to keep my head screwed on.